Good morning, guys. Happy Labor Day. Just got up. So Friday was a good day. We actually technically started the weekend at like 2:30, and hey, I'm talking about what we did Friday. So Friday we ran into the people who run the yard sale, or who ran a yard sale that Peggy and I had gone to, and technically Mark came back with me to go to.
Yeah, I think the guy's name was Chris.
And that was the weekend before, when Peggy and Mike were here visiting, and Aoife had picked up like Baby, her favorite doll, and
Whale the dolphin.
An IKEA activity table.
Tables.
That was the reason I wanted to go in the first place, was because I knew that they were going to have an IKEA desk or two.
Yeah.
And they also had a big IKEA desk, which Peggy thought I should get, and I was kind of unsure of, and we kind of went back and forth about that. But that's why Mark came back with me to get it. And we also got a bunch of just little toys as well, and some scavenger hunt cards.
Yeah, but Violet was really nice, and
Yeah.
Aoife pet Charlotte, the dog.
Yeah, when we ran into them Friday, Violet had been kind of like unsure about selling the second desk the last time we'd seen her. And so when we were starting our weekend off and going on this walk to Riverside Park, we saw Chris and Violet and their dog Charlotte, who's I think like a beagle of some sort. And we stopped, and Violet was actually really nice and in a good mood and just being really good to Aoife. And I think Aoife just felt really comfortable with her. And I was pointing at her backpack and her headband. She's wearing this sparkly rainbow headband. And Mike was like, "Do you remember them from the yard sale, Violet?" And she's like, "Yeah." And I think the natural saleswoman,
I think his name's
Chris, and the natural saleswoman in her was like, "I might sell this headband again sometime." And we were like, "Oh, cool." But there was also like a panda keychain that she was like, "Oh, Eva can just have that." And I was like, "No, it's okay." Like, I just didn't want her to feel like, you know, we're always just going to be trying to take things from her. And, you know, Charlotte was so sweet and just like laid down on her belly for Aoife to like pet her. And Aoife kind of got close enough to her like tummy. I can't remember if she actually, I think she did pet her tummy unprompted. No pause, but she pet her tummy.
She did touch her, yeah, I can't remember where.
I think it was when Charlotte had flopped over, because Chris was like, "Oh, that's it's done now. We're out and we're done for now," because I guess they knew it was gonna be a while before they left. And I think the interaction did, you know, last for a long time. Like, Mark and Chris ended up talking about dad life things, kind of like, he was like, "Yeah, the taxes we pay for are, you know, why Violet gets to go to Thomas Johnson for free." And
Well, you mean when she was in pre-K? No,
when she was in pre-K,
she's
yeah.
in like second grade now.
Yeah, right, that's a good point. And he and some other dads, I guess on the day of the yard sale, had been building a playground in the play area of Thomas Johnson. So it was kind of cool hearing about, like, you know, what Eva's future could be like if we stayed in the neighborhood. And, you know, we mentioned, like, "Oh, we didn't realize that you guys were friends with the Kulos, like our neighbors who were at Eva's party." And anyway, so they ended up walking off, and we continued on to the playground. And I think it was like actually the best day we ever had at the playground, because there were all these kids
I
there.
think that was Thursday, or was that Friday?
I think it was Friday.
Okay.
There was a girl named Lila.
Lila, and her dad was Burton.
Yeah. And she seemed a little sniffly, so I was a little nervous because she was trying to climb onto Aoife at one point on this giant slide, along with like another little girl who I can't remember the name of. There were 3 girls in the pileup.
Yeah. I don't remember the other little girl.
And there was
It's Connor.
Connor was this like little blonde boy with a sort of Middle Eastern looking dad.
Mm-hmm.
Connor looks like a grown man already. He was running around really fast.
Yeah.
His dad's name was Burton, maybe?
No. We didn't meet his dad.
Connor's dad?
Lila's dad was Burton.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
okay.
I already said that.
Oh, right. And then there was the family who we would end up seeing Saturday, the next day. No.
Oh, that family, yeah. And their daughter's Marley. She's older.
And then their young son who was in a radio flyer wagon with a helmet on.
Mm-hmm.
And Aoife went up to him and she was like saying, "Baba, baby." And the mom was like, "Oh, and you're not a baby?" And
I'm like, oh, because you're so big.
we didn't like that. I didn't hear it, but Mark told me later, and I didn't like that either. And Ty. And Ty, we had actually seen earlier that day at like noon because these St. Ignatius like kids in red uniforms were all around, and Aoife and him were the only babies in the playground at the swings, and Aoife was like howling. She didn't want to get in, and the dad was like, "Oh, you've made a friend," like, and I was like, "Yeah, she's gonna learn from Ty how to like use the swings or something like that."
Yeah.
And it was just a really short interaction because she wouldn't actually swing. I think she did sit in it for a second, and then we had to leave. So we weren't even at the playground for more than like 5 minutes.
And Ty's parents are Pat and Kim.
Pat and Kim. And we've actually seen them before walking through, but we just never like talked to them or had seen them at the playground. But we did end up seeing them later that afternoon, and this time like Ty like went up into the toddler like swing area with Aoife and was like stomping around. He was so excited to see her, and like
The slide, you mean?
slide, yeah. And he gave her like a leaf and some mulch, and she acknowledged them. I think she gave him a stick back and then took it back from him.
Mm-hmm.
And would have kept playing with him, but the slide was calling, so she and Mark just kept doing the slide. And I think they played with like these little flowers for a while too, but it was probably one of the more in-depth play sessions that she'd had.
Mm-hmm.
Mark took a really cute photo of that. And then we went home and we made dinner. I can't remember what it was, probably tacos. And we went to sleep. We've been really into Jane the Virgin. So it's Labor Day weekend, and Saturday we woke up and I had a lot of plans for us.
Yeah.
And so I just didn't want to. So we wanted to talk about all the stuff that we did.
Yeah.
It was really busy. So in the morning we went to Fort McHenry, and it was really beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
And a little bit like breezy.
There were a lot of boats.
Yeah.
There was some racing skulls out there and a lot of fishermen.
There was one boat that actually we'd seen before all the others that came out of the water and waved. They waved at us.
They waved at Aoife, yeah.
They waved at Aoife. And we walked all the way around for the first time with her. Well,
In a while.
in a while. But I think it was the first time that she's basically walked the whole way around,
Yeah.
which was awesome.
Mm-hmm.
And
She liked to push Mama a lot.
mm-hmm.
Chasing and pushing.
She got really excited and was pushing my legs, and she like just kind of giggled and like pushed the back of my legs more and then hugged them. She's trying to stop me. Come on! You can do it! You can do it! You got me! Oh, are you done? Are you done? Oh. Can you catch me? Ah! I think she's tired. And we met a wolf named Timber.
Mm-hmm.
And Aoife really liked him. There was this like maybe younger.
She was really brave too.
She was very brave. This Asian guy was the owner, and he was like, she's so friendly. She's great with kids, and she kissed Aoife like 3 times, really slobbery.
Yeah.
And I got nervous because I get allergies from dog spit, but Aoife didn't have a reaction. And the dog almost had my smoothie. I brought us the raspberry mango smoothie, and I was like, oh, I don't want him to, I don't know if dogs are allowed to have raspberry. And the owner was like, yeah, he loves raspberries. And I was like, oh, okay, great. And then we saw, earlier in the walk when we were going by the cherry trees, Eve had also seen like a little black puppy, and she got really excited.
Yeah.
And there were these 2 sort of matronly older ladies who were walking it.
Uh-huh.
And they were like, oh, this is like our baby, and it's like your baby. And so I was like, but I guess it is kind of like their baby. And Aoife like looked at her, and it was like really fluffy and cute and small, because they said she's always going to be small. She's a petite mini anyway, but she's still like 12 weeks old as well. Yeah. So Aoife liked waving to her, but did not touch her. And Timber was the one who she played with, and like he rolled over and showed his belly, and
she touched his paws.
That's when she touched his paws. And then we went to
then she took a nap, and then
that was 8:30, and then we went home around 9:30, and she fell asleep around 10. She woke up around an hour later. Yes. And we went to
the BMI.
The BMI, so like almost 11:30 is when we got there, and they had their farmer's market going on, and we'd never been to it before. We'd been to the BMI before, but never to the farmer's market, and it's actually really chill. It's on this, it's under the pavilion, so like all the vendors and people walking around get to be in the shade, but once you actually commit and buy anything, then you have to sit in the sun. All the tables and being by the water have to be really sunny, and that's when it was getting kind of hot. I think it was like 68, 69 when we were walking in the morning, but by the time we got to the farmer's market, it was like maybe 79.
Yeah, and Aoife immediately saw some children, and we met a family. She walked up to them and was really brave and started playing with them immediately. They were Patrick and Emily, and their kids were Ellie
and Teddy. Eleanor and Theodore, because they have a Roosevelt name.
And
Teddy was trying to be a frog.
Teddy was a frog, and Ellie was almost a year old, but much smaller than
September 24th. And she was eating rocks.
She was eating rocks.
Out of like sort of rectangle
and Aoife was playing with a shovel and tried to feed Ellie and Teddy.
Mm-hmm. And that's when we kind of got our cue that we should probably get something to eat.
And then we went to Latrobe Park.
And we had Mexican food too. We got a rice bowl and a lemonade, which was really, really good. It was like $4, and the rice bowl was $12. Not that that should be that important, but it was, I thought we were gonna probably be fuller.
Get that in the video diary.
I do that. I put in prices. And then, but it really was good. And these 3 Mexican ladies make it all, and they were like very, very good at what they did. And they had like the central spot right in the entrance. Yeah. I think for a reason. But so we had a really nice meal, and we did sit in the sun by the water for a little bit. I remember going there with Mark when we were pregnant and when Eva was very, very little, and we put like a blue fleece blanket down, and she could barely crawl to the edge. This time she could like walk to the edge, and it was a lot scarier. Sorry. Oh, and some old ladies really liked Aoife at the farmer's market. They were like walking up and like waving, and one of them did remind us of Peggy.
Just the way she looked, not the way that she acted or her personality.
Right. There were a surprising amount of kids there. Anyway, so then we left and went to Latrobe Playground, which we'd never been to either. And that's like on the way to Fort McHenry and on the way home.
And Aoife went down the slide a couple times.
It's like a brand new looking playground.
Yeah, it's a nice playground.
Especially compared to Riverside Playground where we normally go. Like it was a lot more well appointed. There was this giant dragon that comes out of the dirt. And there was a parent there, a mom who was sitting there with a giant Rhodesian Ridgeback. It's really beautiful. And her son with like red hair was the first kid that Aoife saw when we entered the playground, and she ran right towards him and then promptly forgot about him. And we went down the slides. She really liked the one slide that we started at and just kept doing it, but it was like a little bit too steep for her. So we kept having...
She was going pretty fast.
Yeah. So we still went around like 3 or 4 times, and that mom was like, she's having so much fun! And she was. But we didn't stay there that long. So we left Latrobe and went to...
Home.
And Aoife took her second nap.
Yeah.
And this time she slept for 2 more hours, and so I normally like prep a smoothie like maybe a little bit before she wakes up so that it's not like completely frozen and it can go in the blender better. But this time it was like not even cold by the time we put it in, because we just didn't realize she'd sleep like a little bit more than 3 hours. But she was in such a good mood, and we were able to get a lot of stuff done. Like I packed some packages up, and Mark took a mini nap. And we had also been stewing this like chicken zucchini slow cooker dish all day, so like I finished that up and I was really proud of it. And we went to Riverside.
We walked over to Riverside with the Winnie the Pooh stroller.
Yeah.
And
straight shot of Heath.
Yeah, we saw a family that we've seen before. Their daughter's name's Marley. But I don't know.
This is why it's good to write this down, or document.
Yeah, I don't know what the boy's name is.
Yeah.
But he's got a helmet. He's 9 months and he has a helmet, and the mother's father was there, the grandfather.
Oh, this is the funniest part, yeah.
With a young Asian lady, and it appeared that it was his girlfriend, probably younger than his daughter.
And we thought it was maybe, after we left, both of us kind of like were recapping just like this the day, and it kind of dawned on us that we were thinking the same thing, that this was like a much younger girlfriend, and that it was sort of like an awkward interaction for the family to be like having her get to know her quote-unquote granddaughter but like she's younger than the mom, you know, and she was really taken by Aoife. She was like, oh, good job, when Aoife like went up to play with Marley. But then when Marley did like the monkey bars, she was kind of like looking up, like she didn't really care. And so I thought, is this because this is like a cute little Asian kid, like, or is this simply because she's just, I don't know, maybe she wants kids, but she's not gonna get it with this much older guy. And it was just interesting to see the dynamic. You know, she was like very well dressed in like a flowy, like
pantsuits, right?
like, yeah, like a jumper or something. And like the thing that you'd see at like a high-end boutique, like she should have had like a wide Panama hat, you know, like those. And like her daughter-in-law is sitting there like looking so much like less put together, less young, and like it's just, I don't know, it was the weirdest thing. Like we felt a little bit like we were intruding on their family time because we were really the only two families in the playground at the moment. And Aoife did keep going up to the little girl, kind of like how she'd gone up to the family at the farmer's market, and just sat right next to Marley at the seat of the slide, you know. Oh, speaking of swings, though, she did go...
She swung a little bit.
Yeah, so she's not as scared of swings. I mean, before when you would hold her over it, she would, like, cry and she would get really upset. But this time, she let us put her in and swing her a few times, so that was really good. But what she likes most is pushing Mama and Dada in the swings. So anyway, we came back home, we ate this, like, pasta zucchini chicken dish, and Aoife went to sleep, and Mark and I watched Cruella with Emma Stone, which is surprisingly good. And before that, an episode or two of Jane the Virgin, and we finished mailing out thank you cards from Aoife's first birthday, even though it's like been 2 months. And it's like month and a half. So it's good that we were able to relax, but also get that done. Thank you! And I think we should probably play with Aoife now. But that was a pretty good sum up. Exciting day. Okay. And yesterday was pretty low-key. Sunday, we just stayed in and hung out. We watched Anastasia and had some family calls. Today's probably going to be pretty chill. It's raining, and a friend of ours might have a barbecue later. Hopefully today is just as fun, but it's the last day of the weekend, so I think we're going to want to keep it low-key. Maybe see Craig and Danielle. And go to Fort McHenry in the morning. Yeah. If you can, please like and follow so that we can keep in touch here on YouTube. The Codex Club is also on Instagram and Facebook, so I'd love for you to keep in touch with me on there as well.